Good evening. Welcome to the DBS Sports. I'm Kenson Casimir. We begin tonight with news in boxing. The Caribbean Development Boxing Championships is just 1 week away. Many of St. Lucia's best local and foreign-based boxers are fine-tuning their craft ahead of the biggest boxing tournament in the region to be hosted right here in St. Lucia. Close to 200 boxers from as far north as Haiti and Jamaica and as far south as Guyana will be in St. Lucia in the coming days for this main event. On Tuesday, 5th December 2017, DBS Sports visited the incomplete Brian McDonald Gym to catch up with the training squad. Among the boxers at the gym was British-based St. Lucian boxer Jacob Gabriel.
I'll come down September and I'll sort out all my citizenship, and then I'll come train, and then they tell me about the Caribbean development tournament, and yeah, I jumped at the opportunity.
Gabriel, who is of St. Lucian parentage, will be fighting in the 60-kilogram weight class.
St. Lucian,
from where?
We grew up in Viewfort.
Okay.
Yeah, and my mum's half English, half Jamaican. I'm good. I'm getting used to this hot weather.
Okay.
And yeah, I always stay fit.
Alright, so what's your expectation for the tournament?
Just tough. I just expect to be tough, but I expect to get a medal.
Okay. Well, Gabriel has boxed with the very best in England and has won many of these fights.
Well, I haven't had a fight yet in St. Lucia, so this will be my first fight. But in England, I had 86 bouts, so I'm experienced.
How did the bouts go?
I'm good. I've won 60 out of 86.
Okay.
And I normally box at 64, but where there's Nathan at 64, I think training this heat I can get down to 60, and then have a bit of size advantage over the opposition.
All right. So what do you say to St. Lucians in terms of the support that you guys need for the tournament?
We need as much support, as much people watching, cheering us on. It all helps.
Jacob Gabriel's father is from the sport-loving community of Viewfort. The 2017 Caribbean Development Boxing Championships gets on the way next Wednesday, December 13, 2017 at the Boseju Indoor Arena. Now, champions were crowned on the weekend as the 2017 Central Castries Youth Football League entered its final stages. In the under-11 third-place playoff, Flow Lancers defeated Valley Soccer Club 2-0. Dishon and Marcus Paul were the goal scorers for Flow Lancers FC. Now, in the final, VSADC Pine Hill Dolphins took on the VSADC Pine Hill Sharks. The Dolphins took an early first-half lead through their leading scorer, Messiah Pinnell. Midway through the second half, Ronald Serie of the Sharks scored a brilliant solo effort to tie the game. Our Sharks went on to win the penalty shootout. In the under-15 action, VSADC Pine Hill under-15 team defeated FC Pioneers 5-1 in the third-place playoff. Skipper Isaiah Modest and Keegan Call were the goal scorers in this matchup. We spoke to some of the players from Pine Hill VSADC.
The organizers of the tournament for putting this together. Though we didn't have many teams, but I must say from what I've seen over the past couple of weeks, it's a very put together tournament. The kids, most of all, were looking forward to it. On our part, I mean, we had our ups and downs during the course of the tournament. But you know that at the end of the day, we did what we had to do. It wasn't always about winning for us as a team. It was more about putting what we learned on the training ground into play on the field, and that I am happy for. But you know, we're just thankful that we were able to win in the first place game.
Well, in the final of the under-15 division, Valley Soccer Club took on Flow Lancers FC. Prolific striker Rio Longville absolutely dominated proceedings. Longville scored yet another hat-trick to ensure Valley Soccer Club the championship trophy. We spoke to Longville and, of course, some of the other members of the successful team.
Today's game was good. Our players really put all in it here, so we had to listen to our coach's instructions, and the game went good. There was some calls that was against us, but we still came over that and produced what our coach asked, and we came up with a 4-2 win, and that was really good.
How did it go for you?
I thought we played good, but we made little mistakes. We listened to the coach, his instructions, and it made us better ourselves.
All right, how did the game go for you? How did you enjoy the game? What is it like being out there?
The game was fun. We did well. We scored goals. We won. And we made a few mistakes, but it went well otherwise.
We also spoke to Coach Melius about the final.
Today's game was a bit tough for us, I would say. it wasn't what we expected from the beginning in terms of the outcome. Defensively, we were a bit poor, and I think we could have been better, but the end result was in our best interest, so it was really good.
Okay, what about the tournament? How did it go for you guys?
The tournament went really well for us, actually, except for the younger division. But in our older groups, we done pretty well. We play another final this afternoon under 19 and one next week under 17.
Well, Ethan DeVoe, Rio Longville and Jamar Chongo were the goal scorers for Valley Soccer, while Andres Demel and Kalen Vitalis were the goal scorers for Flu Lancers. Well, Valley Soccer won that encounter 4-2 to become back-to-back champions. Former national striker and the Canaries youth leader David Henry is on his way to Monaco to attend an international forum from December 6 to 8, 2017. The footballer will represent Sacred Sports Foundation and the Ministry of Youth Development and Sport at the forum, which will see him speak alongside the likes of top sports personalities. David's attendance comes as part of the Sacred Sports Foundation's growing partnership with the Monaco-based Peace and Sport organization. Earlier this year, Sacred Sports was selected as one of the 8 Global Act for What Matters Sports for Development partners by Peace and Sport. Besides attending the forum, David is scheduled to receive a modest donation of sports equipment and technical assistance. David's attendance at the festival will spotlight the youth development activities underway and scheduled in St. Lucia. The forum also incorporates the annual Peace and Sports Awards on Thursday, 7 December, which rewards organizations and individuals who have made an outstanding contribution to peace, dialogue, and social stability in the world of sport. Wow. Well, we take a break, but when we come back, veterans of football continues tonight in the Valley. Welcome back. The 2017-2018 Veterans Football Competition continues tonight at the Larissus playing field in the Valley. At 6 p.m., Bonripo Sharks, they will come up against their neighbors, the Mico Veterans, while Congorians, they come up against the Valley Legends at 8 p.m. Should be nice. The action returns to the Philip Master Grounds on Saturday, 9th December, with a triple header between the 2nd and 3rd place in the group. Labrie Connections, they will come up against Flu Lancers at 4 p.m. Then at 6 p.m., Viewfort North, they will take on Labrie Veterans. Both teams are level on 3 points, with Viewfort North enjoying a slightly better goal difference. The curtains will descend with the 2nd place group leaders as CARICOM Masters, looking to keep their hopes alive against the 3rd place of Viewfort Central. The weekend matches will culminate on Sunday, 10th December, with yet another triple header. At 3 p.m., Prophets and Kings, still in search of their first win, will come up against former champions Soufre, who are currently lying 2nd in the group. This will be followed at 5 p.m. by the match between the 2 lowly placed teams in the group. That's behind the College All-Stars. They have 1 point. They take on Canaries Veterans on 0 points. Now at 7 p.m., home team and group leaders Viewfort South will look to continue their winning streak when they come up against Marshall Veterans, who after a promising start have slipped to 4th position in the group. Russia has been banned from competing at next year's Winter Olympics by the International Olympic Committee. But Russian athletes who can prove they are clean would be allowed to compete in South Korea under a neutral flag. It follows an investigation into allegations of state-sponsored doping at the 2014 Games hosted by Russia in Sochi. Now, the IOC said this should draw a line under this damaging episode. The decision has been widely condemned in Russia, with some politicians urging or arguing that a boycott of the Games should be done through their officials, and they've welcomed the chance of clean athletes to participate. Well, that should be some officials have welcomed the chance of athletes performing at these games. Now, Manchester United are into the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League with a 2-1 win over CSKA Moscow. Let's take a look.
It's a nice take by Romelu Lukaku, and then Marcus Rashford. First opportunity, and the first opportunity squandered by Marcus Rashford of Manchester United, but they literally sliced apart the CSKA Moscow defence there. Got in behind them here, Fernandes. They switched off United, and then Vitinho, and it's gone in. Now, is it going to stand? Yes, it is. The Manchester United players are saying that that's it. A CSKA Moscow player was stood in an offside position, but the officials don't seem to have spotted it.
Well, the assistant referee, the linesman, he was right there. It's definitely, first of all, great attack. He's onside. Chris Smalling plays him on. Fernandes times that run beautifully. Little cut back there.
Here's Pogba. Floats one in towards Lukaku. Oh, he was too strong for Bassine. And that's a striker's finish for Romelu Lukaku, back on the score sheet for Manchester United. And there we saw the power of Romelu Lukaku. Manchester United won, CSKA Moscow won. Manchester United are level, and here they come again. It's Marcus Rashford, and it's 2-1. And Manchester United strike twice in quick succession. And they have the lead against CSKA Moscow. And just like Romelu Lukaku, Marcus Rashford's goal drought is over.
Well, in other results, Chelsea and Atletico Madrid played to a 1-1 draw, and Bayern Munich defeated Paris Saint-Germain 3-1. Well, finally, look ahead. Serena Williams has entered the Australian Open in January. That's what the tournament director, Craig Tiley, said. And the 36-year-old won this year's event in Melbourne while in the early weeks of pregnancy and gave birth to a daughter in September. Wow. Tiley told the Herald Sun the 23-time Grand Slam winner is very likely to return to tennis in Melbourne. She's got her visa, she's entered, she's practicing, he said. There's no question she'll be ready in our view. Wow, trouble stat. As sports, the DBS News continues after the break.